welcome to the first DP-004 test recording video. I'm going to do some features on this thing, see how it records. Levi sent this to the channel. If you want to send anything to the channel and see some videos, feel free to do so. P.O. Box 151, New Paltz, New York 12561. And I'll definitely make some video tutorials about it, make some videos about it, and go from there. Alright, so we're just going to make a really simple song, some guitar, some rhythm guitar, some lead guitar, maybe some vocals. Kind of just following along with the quick start guide in the manual, so but I figured it'd be easier to give you a little visual representation of what's going on. I also picked up the adapter, which is really cool, so that it will run off of the power adapter first before it uses batteries, which is really helpful because it definitely seems to go through batteries pretty quickly. So, but what's cool about the batteries is that you can use this remotely. So we're going to just use the electric guitar direct in. On the top here, you have input A and input B. Sorry if that's upside down, but I should be able to see what those are. My camera's having a little issue autofocusing. That's okay. After that, you just make sure that the switch here is on guitar, which it is. This is for the input A. You can also set the volume here and monitor what you're doing with headphones. I'm going to make sure that this volume is about midway up the wheel. All right, we're going to press the input setting key. It's going to open up a menu over here. We're going to make sure we're going to use this wheel, and you can see that it's changes from a couple different settings here. Off, which would be obviously off. Interior mic A low, that's these internal mics on the front here. There's two on the front. That's how you set those. There's low setting, a medium setting, and a high setting. Guitar line is what we want, and mic would be if we were hooking up a mic to that. So we'll make sure it's on guitar line. To go down, you just hit this down key. So we can set B. And for now, we're just gonna set it to interior low, or internal. So yeah, I mean, there's three settings: low, medium, and high. Basically, those are the settings for these internal mics. So I think you'll have to do a little bit of testing to see what is the best method. We're going to use those later for the vocals. So it's not an exact science. You know, you got three levels that you can try with, and the best bet is to just start on low and go from there. And you just press the home key to bring us back to the project. Loading a song file. You press the menu key. You can use the data wheel to select song. And press F4 key and select load. These are the ones that are currently on the unit. We're actually going to go back, create a new one. It's this song 011 is the new one. We'll keep it like that for now. We're going to execute. And that's storing the song, creating the song. Song create complete. Alright, cool. Now we can go back, exit. And now we have our new song. It's a multi-track project. So interesting about the way that the default settings are, they're very similar to the 4-track. Input A is for tracks 1 and 3, and input B is for tracks 2 and 4, which is pretty similar to the layout of the 4-track if you have ever used one. But you can change these around in this device, which is pretty cool. Alright, let's record some guitar, shall we? We're going to arm the track. See that it's blinking there? So we got standby going. So again, like the 4-track, the way to do it is you got to press these two at the same time, and that'll start this going. Alright, so this is solid now, this is solid, and we're playing, so now we're recording. Alright, sweet. When we're done, you hit stop. Now we've recorded 33 seconds of time. We're still armed over here, so we'll turn that off because we don't want to record anything else or record over it. Alright, let's listen to what we got. So we're going to go to the beginning of the song. The return to zero key function, you could see here, this is RTZ, is actually if you hit this together with the stop button. So if you go, now that went back to 0. Pretty cool function. I mean, super function. Again, similar to the 4-track, and also an important function to know so that you can go back without rewinding the entire thing. Alright, so you just press play to listen to it, what we recorded. Just using this to turn down the headphones a little bit. Yeah, let's turn it down a little bit there too. Alright, cool. Hit these, go back to 0. You can also pan it using, so these are the level knobs for each track, and then these are the pan knobs. So if you want to pan it, you can do so. Alright, let's record a little lead onto the next part here. We're going to hit assign. Now on this screen you can see what inputs are assigned to what tracks. So track 1 we have input A, track 2 we have input B, track 3 is input A, track 4 is input B, like we were saying before, similar to the 4-track. The biggest thing about this is that what's different than the 4-track is you can just change them right here, obviously, because it's digital. So we're just going to go down, change this to A. And now we're going to record the guitar onto track 2 using input A without having to switch it over to input B. We're going to do this as similar before, record 2. You can see our levels there, playing the guitar a little bit. We're at the beginning of the song because we hit RTZ before, and we're going to hit these again and go for it. Alright, hit stop. We're going to return to 0. Whoops. And we're going to turn off the record indicator. And let's listen back to what we did. Just by pushing play. And now we can also mix it as we go here. Alright, cool. So what I did just with my mix, I adjusted some levels here for each track. Rhythm guitar, lead guitar, and then I just panned them a little bit. What is that, 45? Or we'll say 10 and 2 about. Give it a little bit of stereo spread. Alright, let's return to 0. Alright, so let's record some vocals using these guys under here, the internal mics. Let's see how these things function. I'm going to go to assign again. And this time we're going to go down to track 3. We're going to change it to input B. One thing I didn't realize too is you can also hit the home button to go back. So when you're in that menu, you can either hit exit or home, and it'll take you back to the recording project screen. So if you remember before, we assigned input B to be the internal mic B low. So that means the internal mic B is actually here on the right side. And low is the lowest setting, because I don't know how loud it's going to be. So we can record it and see how it sounds and then go back. Hit home. We'll go back to here. I'm going to arm track 3. I'm going to turn this up. I can hear myself now in my room here. So I think we can see the level a little bit here. So what we're going to do is actually go to, not that. Oh yeah, we're going to go to input setting. Oops. And go down. And I'm going to turn this up to medium. Sounds pretty good in my room right now. So hey. Cool. We have it armed. And let's record a little something on there. So input B here, this is going to control the input level as we're recording. This one we're not going to use because it's input A. So input B for the record level. Master is for the headphones I'm listening to. Also the master track. So do that, we can hear it. Alright, so I'm going to just, I don't know, just improv something and we'll go from there. So we're all armed and ready to go. Let's do it. Alright, well let's see now what our whole mix sounds like. We can do that really easily by just RTZ, hit off the record arm, and now we're just going to hit play. So now here, this is going to be our vocal setting. Oh, that was actually better than I thought. Very cool. All the levels sounded good. I like that sound of that internal mic. Okay, well let's move on to the next part, shall we? Really important to note, when you're using the internal mic, you can hear the internal mic, and I can like monitor. I hear my room, and then when you turn this off, it goes silent. So the only way to really hear what you're going to be recording, or the level of what you're going to be recording on the internal mics, is to arm the tracks. I mean, I was kind of mixing our tracks as we were going, but when you come down to mixing your tracks, you can just go back to the beginning of the song, press play. You can use these levels now for the items that were recorded onto tracks 1 through 3, rhythm guitar, lead, vocal. What I did was just set my levels. The lead was a little low, I turned it up. I adjusted my vocals here. I panned the 2 tracks here, left for the rhythm, right for the lead, and then the vocals right up the middle. So this is basically your functionality for your mix. You have your pans and you have your levels. These knobs, like I've mentioned, are strictly for when you're recording to adjust the level. The OL is overloading. If you're hitting that, it's kind of like clipping. You don't want to be doing that. Master is just how you listen back in the headphones and what the level of your mix is on the master. There's also a volume knob over here, which I'm assuming there's a couple different stages of gain staging, I suppose, here. This is going to be your overall volume. There's one on the left here. This guy here. That's in the headphones going here, but you know, for when you're playing back, I would recommend having this like midway through and adjusting this because you don't want it to be too loud. So now this section is going to be mastering the mix. Basically now we have the 3 tracks and we want to put them onto a 2-track stereo track so that we can then bounce that out onto the computer. The time between the song's beginning and the end point is going to be what's going to be mastered or what's going to be bounced out into another file, being the master file. So what this means is we need to set an out point so that when the Tascam, the DP-004 will know, okay, that's going to be the end of the song, that's going to be the end of the bounce. So you press the in-out key right up here, play the song back and press the F4 out key where you want the stereo master to end. Alright, so my song ends I think around here, so I'm going to hit out, and now it says set out point at 34:15. It's still going, I'm going to hit stop. But so now my out point is going to be where the song roughly ends, 34:15. So now Tascam is going to say, okay, I'm going to master this song. I'm going to bounce down these 3 tracks to a stereo track between 00 and 34. So now you can press home to go back. We're going to hit the record mode key. What we've been working with is the multi-track recording, but we're going to go down to master recording. F4 to execute. To start the master recording, you just go to play and record. So you have to hold this down in order to get it, and then press play. And that now we're creating our master track. And the master will end automatically at the point that we set it at. And you can adjust the levels as it's mastering. If say you have a vocal that's too loud or you have a part that you want to be louder, you can adjust things on the fly as it's mastering. Alright, we're going to press the record mode key, go down to master play, you're going to hit execute, and here we go. This is our master now. Press play and we'll get to hear what we created. Let's do it. Ha ha ha. Hey, I was sitting on my guitar, playing a couple licks for this demo test, and we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Yo, it's Mike. Make sure you do something you want to do today, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that little bell notification icon, you nerd, if you want to know when these videos go live. Hit me up if you have any questions about the DP-004. I'll do my best to answer them. I just got it from Levi. Thank you so much again, Levi, for sending it to the channel, and catch you on the next one.